Hello and welcome to the TGA Pristine Podcast, where we discuss everything from the trading card community to the company itself that grades your favorite collectible cardboard. Grab your sleeves and top loaders, it's time to rip into the show.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope everyone had a great week this past week. Whether you had some fun stuff going on with work, we had some good plans for the weekend. I hope everyone had a great week so far, and we are going to be diving into this next episode, kind of just going over, some different TCG sets that we enjoy collecting, some things that we look forward to coming out in the future. And so I know one of the things I truly enjoy collecting, especially for this last couple years or so now, I've been really getting into this new Naruto set that they actually make out in China. For anyone that doesn't know, there's a company out in China called Caillou that makes these really beautiful Naruto cards, and they're officially licensed, so you can get them graded. And I have already been sending a bunch of my cards out to TGA. And, they look beautiful. They come out with a really cool custom design for the Naruto cards. And, they have all kinds of different rarities. They have, all the characters from the show. It's been really fun for me to get into it. Because I remember the first time I got into the cards, I think I bought some stuff, off of Amazon or something. And it ended up being a Tier 1 box. And I didn't really know much about the cards. I didn't know, about the different tiers, the waves, all kinds of different rarities. I kind of just bought it because it was, Naruto cards. I was like, even if these are fake or whatever, I was like, oh, these still look cool. And I kind of wanted to just keep them in a binder or whatever at first. And I remember the first time I opened it, I got through my first Tier 1 box, and I ended up actually pulling a GP. I pulled a Naruto GP out of the Tier 1 box that I bought. And apparently it was also the first GP that was made for that set, because it was GP number 1. So I was actually pretty ecstatic about that. And I remember I had it for years, and then we went to that mini Comic-Con collectors convention. That was pretty close to where we are, and I ended up selling it to a kid that was also into Naruto, and they was looking into getting some cards for their collection and stuff. And I remember I sold it to him, and just as soon as I was selling it to him, I was just remembering that moment of when I opened that box for the first time, and I was ripping through the packs and stuff, and then I pulled that card. I was like, oh, these are so cool. And then I started watching videos on it on YouTube. I started seeing other YouTubers getting into it, and then they found out that they were an official licensed product, and I was like, oh, that's even cooler. Now I can potentially even look to get these graded and everything. So I've been just learning more about the different sets, the different tiers of the boxes for Naruto, trying to find certain characters that I love to collect, and just trying to build up my Naruto collection and everything. And I've also been really looking into some other animes as well. I collect cards for Sword Art Online, Attack on Titan. Me and Jordan also collect stuff for My Hero, so those are always a lot of fun. And that's just just kind of starting off with some of the things I like to get into. What are some more cards you like, Jordan?
Yeah, I'm a huge aficionado, as a good college word there for all you other communication majors. I really enjoy the My Hero Academia Universes set that started a couple years ago, and they've only had 4 sets so far. With they had a base set that came out. It was unnamed. It was just My Hero Academia CCG. The second set was Crimson Rampage. The third, Heroes Clash, and the fourth, League of Villains. My Hero Academia is my favorite anime of all time. There's a bunch of others that I really, really enjoy, and this new one's always really surprised me, and they become my top favorites. But My Hero is always one really special to me, also because I have a really huge comic book background and a large fascination for a lot of those characters. And so My Hero really kind of hits home for me, and they came out with that new CCG a couple years back, and a lot of the cards are just really, really nice, high quality. Universes does a great job with their trading cards. They have great character art cards that's just the character standing alone in a space, and they have ultra rares, they have regular rares, and their sets as well. You can get what's called an extra rare, and it's a foiled version of any card that they make in the entire set. And so you can get some really awesome artworks with some great foil holographic textures to it. They also have secret rares that are out in the set, and yes, you can get an extra secret rare. So added on top of the secret rare foiling to itself, it gets just an extra bit of coolness factored to it. In the first three sets, they had Japanese lettering going along the left side of the card to show how extra cool it was, really, and adding to its neatness factor. And League of Villains, they got rid of that and just made it kind of more of a full art card. And so they would get rid of a lot of borders to the text on the card to explain what it does whenever, because it's a real collectible card game. You can play it. There's tournaments. So they just made it a little bit more cleaner, nicer looking. And those artworks, especially for League of Villains, are really, really nice. They make Plus Ultra cards and Quirk Pack cards that come with the booster boxes that you buy. They have box toppers, which is a free extra rares, a lot of extras in these sets that come with your box, and it could be any card out of the entire set. And so those are always just really fun to open up. Even at the tournaments that they run across the country, they give you exclusive promo alternate art cards. So, being a Pokemon guy, myself, my brother, and so many people out there, alternate arts are pretty common knowledge for us. And so it makes it really exciting for my hero just to see like what kind of artworks they come out with. I know in the next set that's been rumored, they're supposed to be having exclusive artwork to the card game itself. So a lot of the artwork that's been in the card game so far has come from the anime, and we've been told that in the next set they're going to have exclusive art that's made specifically for the CCG. And so I'm really excited about that and to see what they come up with. But yeah, just getting the cards graded, slab, they just look so nice. It goes really perfect with anyone else's collection. Next to Funkos, next to statues. Like I have an All Might character XR from the base set that I got graded, who's in the exact same pose as a figure that I have of All Might, and so they just go hand in hand right next to each other. And yeah, they just do a really, really solid job with those. And like my brother as well, I like collecting Weiss Schwartz cards, especially for Attack on Titan. That was the show he got me into that I really enjoy a lot. The Naruto Caillou sets, collecting my favorite characters for Kakashi and Itachi. They make some very, very awesome artworks for these cards, and it just seems all really exclusive. They get really creative and dynamic with the types of cards that they make. I also enjoy their official TCG from the mid 2000s that the Naruto company came out with. They have some really cool, interesting cards, especially like there's diamond foil prisms that they had for that set. It was those are always
Yeah,
really.
those are very nice.
Oh yeah. I had that crazy sort of like misprinted Kakashi Hakate card that I had bought. The company actually misspelled the character's last name, and it went out in mass. And
Right.
so I guess it's not really like a misprint, because that's how they all got printed, at least to my knowledge. Maybe they had fixed it at some point, but so I just thought that was really fascinating. They kind of split past their quality control team. And aside from that, Pokemon, of course, that we talked about on the last podcast. I still love to collect all the Blaziken cards. Blaziken's my favorite Pokemon, and so always adding to that collection for the Japanese and the English is always a lot of fun. Our mutual good friend Mark had for Christmas actually got me the first Blaziken card that was ever made. It was graded an 8. So that was a really nice gesture from him, and it goes perfectly in my Blaziken collection, along with other really cool alternate art cards that I have that are graded in 10s that are just like the pinnacle of my collection. It's just a whole lot of cool stuff that's coming out that we always just love collecting for our shows and having those little symbols, and we always have reasons to empty our wallets and watch our bank accounts go down and count just to have all these nice little shiny cardboards and plastics and things that just make us feel good.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite things to do. Like going back to what you were talking about with like matching the slabs and stuff with like different figures and statues and especially the Funkos. Like I'm a big Funko fan. I know Jordan is as well. We both have our own fair share of Funkos in our collections, and there's like specific characters or monsters or anything that I have Funkos for that I want to try to get matching slabs for and stuff. I always try to do that. Like I got a lot of them for a lot of my Yu-Gi-Oh Funkos. Like I got ones for Dark Magician, Fly for the Sky Dragon, Stardust Dragon, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Like a lot of those I have slabs for that match the Funkos now. I have ones for anime characters. Fun fact: I actually have one single Fortnite Funko, and it's because it's for my favorite skin in Fortnite ever. It's the Battle Hound, and I actually found a. I went back and looked through like the older like TCG stuff for Fortnite, and I managed to find on eBay that someone was selling just like a raw version of that card, and it was like a holographic, and I was like, oh, I'm definitely gonna get that. I don't even really care what the quality of the card, as long as it's not like terrible, as long as it's not like super beat up or anything, like it looked decent. And so I ended up getting it graded, and I got it graded as a 9. And I got it also with like a holographic label to kind of match the card, because it was just a straight, just like regular hollow foil pattern over the card, so it matches really well with the label. So I definitely think it's like always nice to kind of like for the aesthetics of just like matching your collection to kind of put together slabs that go well with like different figures or statues or anything you have. I think that's always like a nice touch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never thought about doing that until I saw the YouTube video. You might remember the YouTuber's name, the guy that has all those super crazy Naruto statues. I don't know if you
Oh
remember.
yeah, BAM Collectibles.
Yeah, so yeah, shout out to him
Yep.
because that's when I kind of got the idea. Because when he would show off all of his super huge Naruto statues. Yeah, yeah, if y'all haven't seen it, go give him a watch. Those videos are always really entertaining. He has 1-to-1 scale statues, and he's just got other super nice, hyper dynamic statues and figures for Naruto, especially. He may have done videos for other animes, but that's definitely the primary one that he does. And he made a video just showing off his main collection, and he would pair up a lot of graded cards with his statues. I was like, oh, I actually kind of like that idea. Most of the time, I always kept them separated, and then whenever I did it for All Might and Deku from My Hero Academia, I realized like how nice and how well it actually like complements the statues and figures. This adds a good um, little flair to them, I guess you could say. Um, 'Cause I also have to get more organized because I have a whole bunch of Funkos and slabs that are kind of just all misplaced and thrown around, and so I need to get a bit more laid out when it comes to which slabs are going with which Funkos, and just have all of those nice black bookshelves that I bought from Walmart and Target that we use to display all of our things, and definitely recommend those. As they're about $30 to $40 each. You can build it without any power tools within an hour or so, and they're just already up, ready to go, and they look really nice. You can get it in black or white, or if you want to, spray paint them or paint them however you want, you can do that as well. It's just straight up wood. There's not too much to them. Uh, but yeah, I always thought that always gives a really nice look to them, and always enjoy finding new ways to display my graded cards, even raw cards too, and keeping them in one touches and the little stands and everything. I'm always looking for new and interesting ways to display stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was funny that you brought up Bam because he was actually the person that I used to watch. For a lot of times, it was just to see him unbox those statues and stuff. But then when he started doing the videos of like the Naruto cards, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Because I actually found out about just the original CCG of Naruto from him because he was like, he would either buy like a whole booster box and like rip it, or he would just have like a few like packs or something just to see what he would get. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that Naruto even had like like a card game or anything like that. And so that's when I started looking up different cards and starting to buy some of them and stuff, and trying to find like packs that I could open just for fun. Um, and then that's when I started finding out about the Naruto Kaiju stuff, because then he started buying it, and I was telling you about how you could get it from AliExpress. Like that's where he buys them from, because they come from China. And so at first he was just saying that they were like off-brand stuff that's just unofficial, but then he ended up finding out more info about them and found out they were official. And so that's what got me more excited about actually buying them and getting more into them and stuff, especially for like the grading purposes. I always thought that was really cool. So the
Right,
fact that
yeah.
I was just randomly stumbling upon some person's YouTube channel and like learning so much about that kind of stuff, and just like that's what really grew my interest in the hobby of collecting not only just like cards, but just getting more into like the anime cards of like Naruto, because like Naruto is easily like my favorite anime. So I thought it was really cool to start getting into all those cards and everything, and start getting more into collecting.
Yeah, because if you look at the Naruto Kaiju cards, they don't look anything like unofficial cards. Like when you see the quality that they are, especially at the higher rarity, like CRs and BPs, the GPs, just everything that they make as like those big hitters. I mean, they look like anything you would see from like official American sets, official Japanese sets. They do an incredible job, and um, definitely if people listening haven't seen them, like just look up like Naruto Kaiju BP, and KAYOU is the company name. Just look those up. I mean, and you're gonna really enjoy what you see if you're a Naruto fan. But yeah, the kind of double back on some of the cool things about the My Hero sets. And in the third set for My Hero Heroes Clash, they for the first time introduced serialized numbered cards. They made 500 in total, and so it's over five different characters, and they did 100 for each character, and it's only through the first edition boxes, and so they're called Chrome Rares, and they're basically just like a clean sheen one color of the promotional artwork of the character that's on all of the boxes. It's that image of the characters, and they're all numbered out of 100 on the front of the card. And I've been lucky enough to sadly not pull one myself, but I've seen it a couple of them be pulled live on Whatnot before, and that's really something that I think is really cool, that people can go on Whatnot or just any other of these other live streaming accounts and or apps, and be able to like to watch this stuff. And even if you're not able to afford packs or boxes for yourself, you get to kind of live vicariously through some of these other people and seeing all the cool stuff that they're pulling. And yeah, I've seen a Kirishima and a Ida get pulled before, and just like how crazy that feeling is. Like even though you're not pulling it yourself, you're seeing just like this super rare card like it's getting pulled from a set and from a show that I truly love and is my favorite. And just seeing like other people too getting excited about it, and it getting shared around, and then making clips of it and putting it on YouTube. And sometimes the official My Hero CCG accounts on social media will reshare them, and they love interacting with all the people that are into the card game. And they did some cool stuff with the most recent national tournament. They did a lot of interviews with the people that placed in like the top 16, the top 8, and them talking about like their journey and their experiences with the game and the show. And it's very professional. It's very well done, and they held it in Vegas actually too. So it's like even cooler that they're getting like these big cities and venues to be hosting this event. And I know the winner got, it was somewhere upwards of like $100,000, maybe $200,000, and it would still be like a substantial amount for everyone that came in second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. It made me very interested in wanting to start playing. I have heard it's a bit difficult, a little intimidating at first, but with anything, it just takes experience and a drive to want to learn. And but yeah, I feel like 'cause I haven't played a card game really since Yu-Gi-Oh, and that was years and years ago. And I was thrown into one Magic game on one of my buddy's phones that I made the guy rage quit. I was very happy about that. It's possible he gave me just some goated deck that was impossible to lose with if you had two thumbs and a one IQ. But I felt like I was still doing somewhat good, and it's a good little gateway drug, if you can even say that, into wanting to play more and get back into it. And I definitely think I can be inspired through My Hero, since it is my favorite anime. And I have a whole bunch of bulk cards I can go through and start putting together some decks and like buying some other URs and cards that I need to start playing. And I mean, like, these card shops, they offer up and invite just everybody to come in and play the games that you love and try to connect with people. And it's definitely really cool. It's like there's even just times I'll go in and buy packs and boxes, and they'll like straight up ask, "Oh, do you play? We have this event going on Saturdays at 6. You should really come by." And so they're very welcoming and open to you wanting to play, and join in on their friend groups. And it's a really great community that I need to get more acquainted with.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly, getting into the My Hero stuff has been really cool. Just to like, see the different sets they come out with, and seeing the different characters that they emphasize in the sets. And I have a good mix of like, between the heroes and the villains that I like to collect. I mean, I mainly like just to focus on collecting Dabi for the villains, but there's like, a handful of different hero cards that I enjoy collecting too. So I'm kind of interested to see like where they go from here now. Like what the next like set's gonna be. Like, some of the like what the characters are gonna be like the most focused in the set. Like, because now, like, they made this set for just a League of Villains, so like, now are they gonna jump to like making a set like mostly about the heroes, or are they gonna, like what kind of part of like the show are they gonna be going into now for the cards? And I like to start seeing like some of the other characters that haven't really been featured too much in the set so far. Like I feel like there's some like the pro heroes that haven't really gotten a lot of love throughout the first four sets. So I would kind of like to see them like mixing it up and kind of throwing some other characters in there rather than just kind of just doing the same run in the mill, like all the students and the same like pro heroes they've added into a lot of them. So like some of the ones I think about are like some of the other heroes that are in the top 10 that haven't really gotten a lot of. Like, I don't even think, do they even have any single cards for Hawks?
Not yet. I think he's rumored to be in the next set.
Because
Uh,
I feel like that's going to be a big one. Because I mean, he's a huge favorite for I know like for like the fan base of My Hero in general. I mean, Hawks is like big time. I mean, he's like he's been like the number. He was like the number three at one point, and then now he's the number two. So it's like I definitely think that he's like been way overdue for being added into the TCG.
yeah, I know. Yeah, he's been a really big character. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be in the next set because they kind of follow the anime and like what like the arts of the cards are for the most part. They're kind of up to season 2 or 3 right now in some of the cards. It's now with the League of Villains. It's sort of through the whole like training in the woods arc and doing the whole like summer camp training and I guess spoilers for the next couple seconds. Whenever Bakugo gets captured by the League of Villains, and so they're kind of focusing on that right now. And I think Overhaul is supposed to be in the next set as well, so that'll be coming creeping up on season 4. Uh,
Okay, yeah. So then you'll probably start seeing some cards for Mirio for
yeah,
1 million.
yeah, that'll be
That'd be
really
cool.
cool.
Yeah. So and then might see some cards for like Fat Gum.
Little
Um,
airy cards and
yeah. I mean, yeah. It'll definitely open up to getting some more characters in there and.
right.
Um,
I am curious if they're gonna start doing anything else like they did with Heroes Clash on not specifically to serialize cards, but just like some other rarities or some other kind of chase cards. Because for the most part, they've always stuck with a guaranteed rare in a pack. You're guaranteed 6 URs and 4 extra rares, excluding the box topper. And then for the secret rares, they're both guaranteed in a case, which is 6 booster boxes in a case. And the Heroes Clash is the only one that had chrome rares that were a somewhat possibility. Sadly, it kind of tanked the prices of the secret rares and the extra secret rares right off the bat. Typically over time, everything will naturally start to decrease in price for the most part, depending on what the cards are, of course. But whenever that set came out, I mean, it was almost instant. Like the secret rares were, maybe 15,
like $10.
Yeah, 10 to $20. Extra secret rares were like 40 to 50, when those would typically be at least a couple hundred minimum when the sets drop. If not, it'll be even more. So I think that they're kind of reanalyzing that whole thing when League of Villains came out. They just went back to the basics. They went all out, though, on those artworks and the images they pulled for those cards. A lot of those rares looked better than a lot of ultra rares and maybe even like a handful of secret rares that had been out. They did a great job with just like making people want to collect all of the cards, because a lot of those looked really, really nice. And I'm definitely looking forward if they do cover Season 4 for any overhaul cards, because he's my favorite villain out of the entire show. Because Mr. Compress is my favorite in the League of Villains, and they did a promo. So for every set that comes out, when they do pre-release events for people to go out and play the game, they'll do pre-release promo cards, and it's always just one card. And so it was sort of like I guess like double-edged sword, or however you want to put the phrase, because my favorite in the League of Villains is Mr. Compress. They made 0 Mr. Compress cards out of the League of Villains set, but they did give him his own exclusive promo for the pre-release set. So it kind of makes up for it, kind of doesn't, because I would kind of much prefer to have numerous cards from Mr. Compress in the set to be able to collect and get graded. But I mean, I'm cool. I got like 7 or 8. I've lost count of the Mr. Compress promos. I'm getting majority of them graded. Really aiming for a strong 10 on any of them. So I think this is kind of cool. Like they'll try and supplement any characters that they may have left out, or just kind of get cool ideas for because the one for Heroes Clash was a class lineup card, so it had like a lot of the main students from Class 1A that were all just lined up across, and like a nice red foil, like kind of checkered pattern. So they do a really good job. I like the sets a lot, and it's always fun and exciting to see what they're gonna come up with. And I whenever it came out that they were doing the starter deck for All Might versus All for One, because you can also pull extra rares of the starter deck cards in the regular booster boxes of that set. So you can pull extra rare holos of All Might cards and of All for One cards out of League of Villains, because that came out simultaneously with the set. And so as soon as I started seeing all of those starter exclusive cards of all the different smashes and awesome poses that were very iconic with All Might from the show, I was losing I was screenshotting every single card, just looking at them like, oh my god, I can't wait to get this in my hands and get this graded. And they just looked so beautiful, because All Might is my favorite anime character of all time. Kakashi is a very, very, very strong second. It's pretty much in tandem with Batman and Spider-Man for me. Spider-Man was always my first superhero that I was obsessed with and loved. Once I got older, Batman took over that reign and is still currently my favorite. I feel like will forever be my favorite. But Spider-Man is a super, super strong second for me. Easily my favorite Marvel hero. I don't think anyone really comes close to that. But yeah, just My Hero is super cool. They have a really cool card game that's out right now. Hopefully it gets more traction and more people collect it and play it and share it. Get it graded with TGA. Share those posts. I would love to see other people's My Hero cards getting graded. Like what characters people like from the show, what cards they decided to get sent in. When I was there, man, I was eyeballing. I was praying. I would see other My Hero because I was trying to convince them for so long. Like, we got to get our own exclusive My Hero labels. We got to make these posts primarily because I wanted them for myself, but I also wanted other people that because that'll entice people to want to get the cards and get them graded because no one else will be doing it like TGA. They're always made by collectors for collectors, and I was a collector and I was trying to get it for the collectors and to see what kind of cool designs. Their graphic design team, like I said last in the last podcast, is just incredible, highly creative. I love seeing everything that comes from their minds and what they have in store for labels and the company itself. So hopefully, if it grows more traction, if it has longevity, they will start to make labels for it. If people can rally behind me, start emailing them, start calling them, like, hey, it'd be really awesome if you had made some My Hero Academia custom labels, and we'd really appreciate it. We got all these cards on standby. 'Cause I would lobby for that and run with that torch until it dies off, and I think it'd be something really cool to see them start with, and make it even more enticing for people to go with TGA.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, there's any chance that those sets start becoming like super popular and like people start growing interest more and more in the cards, especially when people find out about them and want to start collecting. And if there's if there's the reach for it, then there's definitely a chance that other animes will start getting opportunities for custom labels. I mean, they already have them for Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball Z. I mean, they even had custom labels for Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic. They make the flow labels for Pokemon. I mean, there's always the opportunities for a lot of those new sets to potentially get some custom labels for those, and definitely add more aesthetics to people's collections and stuff. So I definitely agree there. So I know like some of the news things that I'm looking forward to that are coming out. They are going to be finally releasing. I believe it's because I know the Japanese version has already been out, but I believe they're going to be releasing the English set for the new 10th anniversary for Sword Art Online cards. I know really looking forward to those because for anyone that collects the White Schwartz cards, typically in a lot of those sets they have signature cards. Basically, they'll be like essentially like the signatures of like either because I believe it's supposed to be the voice actors of those characters or it's like the actual artist. I have to look that up to be correct on that, but there are signatures on the cards, and they're just like they're printed on there, so it's not like an on card like autograph or anything. But they had one and they just printed them on there and stuff. But it was really nice. They're beautiful cards, and I remember I was on Whatnot, and there was someone doing some like you could buy into packs for Attack on Titan, and they had just opened like a fresh like new case of the final season for Attack on Titan cards, and I bought into it. And basically, how it worked is that like you would just keep ripping packs until you get like a better hit than just a rare, because in all those packs, kind of like with My Hero, you're guaranteed to at least get a rare out of every pack. So until you got like a double rare, a triple rare, or any of those other bigger hit cards, then that's when your run would stop and it would go on to the next person. So I went in and bought into it. And, you started opening about like 5 or 6 packs, and then I was just getting rares and stuff. But then, surely enough, he goes to open a pack, and I pull the Aaron signature card
I remember.
from the final seasons, and I was so shocked, like I was freaking out, and I remember I was just like typing in his chat like in all caps, like oh my god, no way, like this is insane, like I was just so ecstatic that I pulled something crazy from that set because like I'd opened a fair share of like Attack on Titan stuff, and usually I would just get like like just the standard rares and some double rares and like maybe like 1 or 2 triple rares. And those are cool, but like that was the first time I pulled like a legit like signature card from a White Swords um, product, and I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. The only part of me that was bummed was the fact that it wasn't Levi, because if it was Levi, I probably would have ran outside and just like ran around our house for a couple times. I would have been so ecstatic, like it would have been ridiculous, and it would have been probably the most exercise I've had in the last year. But that's not the point. Anyway, so that's another reason why I do also like collecting White Schwartz is because like that's another like line of cards that the print quality is amazing, the artworks are really nice. You're guaranteed to get a holo out of every pack. Like aside from Pokemon, that's really big reason why I don't really collect Pokemon that much anymore because you can really get scammed on those packs. But I've just been really wanting to dive in on more anime stuff, trying to discover other companies that make official sets for animes. Like we recently found out, like I say recently, like probably like months ago, that they had this really cool Build and Divide line of cards, and they make them for all different animes. Like they have them for Demon Slayer. That was like the first one that we saw them make. And they have these really cool like cracked ice foil cards, like for hits that you can get out of there. I saw they also make cards for Full Metal Alchemist. So if anyone's a big fan of that show, they make cards for that. Um, I even saw they have those. They have the same thing for like Pixar. They made those really awesome Pixar cards, and they even have like they have like stamp cards in there, kind of the same thing they had for that new Star Wars and Marvel line that they just came out with for Weiss, where you can get like cards that have like stamps on them and stuff of the different shows or movies that they're from, and those are like really nice looking as well. And I actually pulled a stamp card from some Star Wars boxes. I bought one Star Wars box, and I ended up pulling a dual card of Obi-Wan and Anakin, and it was a stamp for, I believe it was the clone,
Attack of the
what is it?
Clones.
Attack of the Clones, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I pulled a stamp card of that, and like that was crazy. I bought one box and I pulled a stamp, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's like ridiculous. Because in each of the packs, you're only, I think it's like, I think it was only like a few cards or something out of like every pack. And then each box only had like 5 or so packs, so it was like, it's a big gamble to try to get in there and pull something really good. So I was really excited about that as well. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the new Sword Art Online set that's coming out. I'm planning to buy a few boxes of those. I want to start getting more into buying Demon Slayer stuff because I want to start collecting some more cards for that. Because I'd like to start building up a graded Demon Slayer collection. Would like to maybe get into the Full Metal Alchemist stuff too, because I did really enjoy that show when I watched it, so it would be cool to try to get some cards for the characters I like from that. I know they're coming out with a new set for Chainsaw Man. So I might be interested in possibly getting some stuff for that because I wasn't the biggest fan of the show, but it definitely was cool, and it would be nice to start getting some stuff since like the show is fairly new. I haven't seen if there's anything official for Jujutsu Kaisen or anything.
Okay, so I'm super glad you just said that because that transitions perfectly to something I've been staring at. I'm so glad I remembered. So I heard about this all the way back to when I was working at TGA. So this was closing in on like 9 months ago or so. This was announced. So it's a new partnered humongous collab card game called Union Arena, and they said it's showing that the release date was actually 2 days ago. So I believe you can actually start ordering the sets now. And what they do, every set they partner with, I believe, 3 or so different animes per set that go up against each other. And in showing right now is that Jujutsu Kaisen has booster packs that you can purchase right now for the sets because they have coming up after that. So right now, what is it? It's Hunter x Hunter, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Code. Oh, I'm gonna butcher that. Geass, Geass. I've never heard of the show. So they have those 3 animes that are partnered against each other right now in the first set that's coming out for it. And then in April, they're going to have Demon Slayer, which absolutely, yes, I'm completely here for. That's
Yep.
that's probably my second favorite anime of all time. Closing in with Naruto. Naruto's probably, just because of how much of a classic it is, I'm gonna say Demon Slayer is my second favorite new anime. That started very recently. It's close with Attack on Titan. Sword Art Online is huge for me as well. I know I'm leaving out so many other shows that are just wiping my mind right now. But yeah, Naruto, I think it's definitely my second. But Demon Slayer, I love. It is really really awesome. If no one has given that a try, I mean, even just the first couple episodes pull you in. Like, it's hard to say that for My Hero. Those first couple episodes, I'll admit, it's a little rough. If you can get past Deku crying and all the complaining and all the whining or whatever, within the first couple episodes, you still get some great story, and it really hooks you in for that whole season. But Demon Slayer, I mean, within the first episode, you're like, oh my god, like this is crazy. This is cool. I want to see where this goes. So
Yeah, the
yes,
story is unique. Yeah.
yeah, it's great. I should learn the woman that created the show, the mangaka. For I don't know her name. I don't know if I've ever known her name, but she is an incredible storyteller, and it's an awesome show. So yeah, so the second set looks like it's going to be Demon Slayer. Um, well, man, some of these I've never heard of before. The Idol Master Shiny Colors I've never heard of, and
I haven't heard of that either.
right, looks like those are the only two that are showing for April release. Tales of Arise as another one. Oh yeah, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. That's going to be in May, along with Bleach. And I know there's a whole bunch of Bleach fans out there. We gave it a try in college. I remember liking it for the most part. Wasn't too into it. We got I think halfway through season one, and we kind of just dropped it. I don't really know why. I'm definitely willing to give it another shot and rewatching it. I know that's one of the big three, one of the big classics, and I don't want to touch in too much of the big classics because there's one we don't care too much about either. Um, one's amazing, one we gotta try again, and the other we're just not gonna really talk about. But yeah, so it definitely looks like we gotta start buying some of this Jujutsu Kaisen sets because Ryan got me into Jujutsu Kaisen. We're currently trying to finish up season one because season two is coming out later this year. So we just finished season six of My Hero. Probably the best season of anime I've ever seen. I am biased. I don't care. That was great. Apparently, season seven is going to be even greater and grander. Really looking forward to that. It'll probably be a
Yeah.
year and a half from now. So that's going to be hard to. Because I'm not going to read the manga. There's no way. I'm not going to spoil that for myself. I'm going to
Yeah,
have.
as the weebs would say, it's peak fiction.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm not gonna lie. So like I thoroughly enjoyed this past season of My Hero, like for sure. Because like obviously I was into it when we first started watching it, and obviously like I was never into it as much as you have been.
Mhm.
But I've still really enjoyed it. I've grown to really be connected with the characters and the story, and like just seeing how it progresses with everything. Um, but like, dude, like I did not think honestly that Attack on Titan was gonna make me process so much stuff and like really think about like how things have played out and like how much foreshadowing there was in the previous seasons leading up to now. Like there's so many different like things I've seen, like videos of like stuff that like Aaron said like in season two, and like how the fact that like once again spoilers, you can see into the future with like his abilities and stuff, but um like it's ridiculous to think about, like all the stuff he was saying, all the stuff he was doing was like it all made sense because of the fact that like he could see like what was going to happen, like with everything that was progressing, how it was, like
Right.
he knew how it was going to end. um and so it's just like, yeah, it's just crazy to think about. um so it's like it's one of those things where there's not many shows that have really made me like go through that process of thinking like like, oh, like what's gonna happen next, like I wonder why this happened, and then like thinking like, oh my gosh, like they were talking about this like 2 seasons ago, and like now it all makes sense. And so it's just like, and that's like now where it's kind of where we're getting into with like Demon Slayer, like now it's coming on like to the third season. So like starting to think about where all these new demons are coming from, and like what their backgrounds are, what their abilities are, like what can they do.
Yeah, because we're now just getting introduced to all of the upper rank six demons, and I've sadly seen like a spoiler or two potentially of the upper rank number one demon and some ties that character has with some other characters, and um, but yeah, no, definitely if people listening out there, definitely get into anime if you haven't. Anime is awesome. It's great content. It's super cool, highly creative. You get introduced to this amazing new world and culture that the Japanese people partake in and live in, and just what comes from their minds living where they are. And they just have so many great ideas and um, like just creative minds that create these shows. It really gives you different perspectives and makes you think, and you look forward to watching these shows. So yeah, a lot of those, like the My Hero just finished season 6. Demon Slayer season 3 is coming up. Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 is coming up. There's a lot of great ones that are happening right now for people to start getting caught up on. My Hero a little bit harder. It's about like 100 and 40, 50 episodes that you might need to catch up on. But you got plenty of time before season 7, which will be I'm guessing at least well over a year from now. Sadly, because their animation quality is top notch. Apparently, Demon Slayer is going to get even better, which is crazy to think about. They have one of the best animations out there. It's probably arguably the best animation. Um, but yeah, that's. I don't know if you had anything else planned. I know we're getting a little bit off topic with talking about anime and everything, but we are very passionate about it, and that's what you want for people that are grading your cards, and you want passion and someone that truly cares about it and knows what they're talking about and what they're looking at, and I always enjoy people that respect and enjoy what I respect and enjoy, when they're handling the things that I treasure most. And it's just it just really shows that they have a personal connection with the customers and people that they deal with. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing some of these Union Arena cards for Jujutsu Kaisen, and seeing what those are going to be like, and especially for Demon Slayer. I'm going to be looking up some some videos here shortly and seeing if we can find out how good these are going to look.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like also like puts preface on like why we have been enjoying so much about collecting these different anime cards and getting into them, and trying to learn more about them and wanting to get them graded. Is that like if you guys like ever check out any of these shows, like you'll understand like why I was about to say how and why at the same time.
Oh boy.
You understand like why so many people really resonate with these stories, with the characters, like how some of them can be like so relatable, and like you can almost like see like certain parts of yourself within these characters and like what they go through, and just like feeling the emotion and the passion behind it. It just really draws a lot of people to just enjoy the shows as they are, like just the story, the animations, just everything like about the character development. It's just amazing. So for people that you enjoy watching sports, and that's why you enjoy collecting the cards, because like you like watching football or basketball, all these players that are amazing at their positions, and they put up a lot of stats and all that kind of stuff. So that's why you enjoyed collecting sports. And like for people that collect like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like you grew up watching those shows, you've always collected the cards, and so you want to continue that trend of just collecting the new stuff. So it's kind of the same thing with like anime. Like we started watching anime when we were younger, and like starting to grow into watching new shows. So you find like new characters, and you like enjoy seeing on the screens like when you're watching the animes and the shows and stuff. Um, and so like that's why I've been getting so much deeper into collecting these, because like it's also just like it's fun. Like it's fun to open up the packs, and like it's fun to open up any packs, but it's like it makes it more enjoyable when you're at least guaranteed something. Because like I tell you what, like I have personally drawn out from wanting to open up more Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh for that matter. Like now, because it's just like you're not guaranteed anything usually. Like unless like the packs say that they guarantee something, which I don't think has ever really happened for Pokemon, except for like they'll say that you're guaranteed like a holo, but like there's also not really many people that collect holos unless you're just trying to be like a completionist and just trying to fill the whole set. But all the other sets, it's like you're not always guaranteed something. Like you'll end up like buying like a ETB, which are like elite trainer box, and like you can end up with just like one V card, maybe a couple holos, and then the rest are non-holos. So it's like you spend $50 to basically get like nothing.
Mm.
But it's like with a lot of these anime sets, like you're always guaranteed to at least get a holo, like foil in every one of the packs, and it's like and all the artworks are beautiful. So even just like the basic holos look amazing. Like they look great. And then there's always the chances that you pull like the double, triple rares. You can pull a signature card, which are super nice. And they have like really big chase cards that you can get out of those that are worth like hundreds of dollars. So it's just really fun to get into that kind of stuff and find out about new official TCGs that come out for different animes and stuff. So that's why we like really enjoy it, just because we enjoy the shows that we like watching and trying to find different sets that we can try to collect and also have the chance to try to get graded. And if it becomes popular enough, then they'll start coming out with official like custom labels for it and everything, and make it even more appealing to want to send your cards to TGA and stuff. But yeah, guys, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. This was a really fun discussion we had today. Just kind of going over mostly anime, but obviously we'll start leaning into some other topics in future episodes and everything. But this is like a big topic for us that we wanted to kind of go over today. But yeah, do you have any final last words, Jordan?
No, I mean, I just love talking about the things I'm passionate on and anime and all the cards that we collect for that. And yeah, we will get into some. I know there's still a whole lot of sports cards fans out there, and there's a whole bunch of other topics we haven't hit on. I will throw in at the very last second. If you're a DC fan, if you're a Justice League fan, if you remember the original cartoon show, that's one of the things that truly got me into DC and their superheroes. There is a super old set of trading cards they made for that show, specifically the original Justice League cartoon. It was made by Inkworks. I think they're probably like a paper printing company at this point. They don't exist anymore. You can still find singles and potentially a booster box or two of it on eBay or somewhere else if you try hard enough. Buy those. Those are really fun. Those are really cool. Brings back a lot of nostalgia. It's a lot of fun. They have sketch cards that you can't get them in the boxes. I will say now, but you can pull the redemption card that you could have sent off, and that card is really cool because it's all the Justice League against the Sunset from the intro. It's a really cool card. I was lucky enough to pull one, and but you can buy. There's people that sell the sketch cards, and it comes from the artists that worked on the show. And they literally do like Sharpie line work sketches, original sketches on these cards that you can find for good prices. And it's something really awesome. I love it because I'm a huge fan of artwork, huge fan of DC and their heroes and of that show. So that's something I want to throw out there. So if you just go on eBay and do Justice League, I believe it's a 2003 set of Inkworks, and the cards will pop up. And they're super awesome, super cool. Just wanted to throw that out there. That's another huge passion of mine. But yeah, I just really appreciate everybody tuning in today. I'm going to sign us off here. And with our token, very original saying, if you want to get it pristine, you got to keep it clean. So thanks, everyone, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.
All right, guys. So we made it to the end of the video. Here is our patented question of the day. There is a current TCG that you are collecting right now. Feel free to let us know in the comments what that is. If you're collecting Pokemon, collecting Yu-Gi-Oh, collecting Magic, any kind of anime cards, sports, let us know down below what you are currently collecting and what you are looking forward to. But yeah, guys, if you want to get it pristine, you got to keep it clean. Have a good one.